What's up, everybody? My name is Yuri Goman, and today we will be discussing the top 5 reasons not to become a business analyst. Now, I'm all for people becoming business analysts, and I believe that every person is a business analyst by nature. After 12 years in this field, I'm still sure that this is a fantastic job with career opportunities and people should try it. But for some people, this job may be too challenging. Years ago, as a sophomore, I wanted to become an accountant. I dreamed about working with cash flows, profits, taxes, and other things, so I invested a lot in learning. Later, I had a chance to become an accountant assistant and try things out, and I want to say that the real life changed my mind completely. All those numbers and tables and routinely moving them around was something I couldn't stand at all. So I was kind of on a crossroads of what to do next. Either to give it a chance, to love it, or try another job. If you are in this kind of situation and wondering if you should become a business analyst, here are some things that you should know. And the first one is having a more chaotic than system personality. As a business analyst, you will be driving the creation of systems and frameworks that other people will be using. It means that you need to put a structured way of doing things into the processes and software, which is challenging when you get used to less streamlined approaches yourself. Also, you will be working with many people relying on the output of your work. You need to meet deadlines, people's expectations, and budgets. Being a leadership role, business analysts really don't have time to horse around and are expected to build an efficient structure around them. In general, business analysts work in a project-based environment, and these projects have clear start and objectives and steps to go through to reach the goal. What's more, every project has its methodology to get things done. Those methodologies consist of repetitive steps, phases, activities, and actions you need to perform to get to the end. You have to stick to the plan to make it work, which is often feel impossible if you are used to following your heart and doing things as you feel but not as agreed. The second is you become frustrated with lots of documentation and prefer visual or audio formats of getting information. Business analysts often work with tons of documents like business requirements documents or initial project documentation. In my experience, it is very common to get a 100-page specification from the client as a foundation for the quote they want to get from you. Getting through such a huge document and understanding what's inside it, what's going on there, may take up to 3-4 working days just to work with the document. I've seen many people frustrated by document analysis and leaving their jobs, not being ready to continue. Another side of this challenge is writing. Business analysts create tons of documents. It is common for a medium project to have around 200 or even 300 features in a backlog, and each of them need to be documented properly in enough details. Keeping the documentation relevant is a service activity. There is no fun at all in it, yet it takes a big chunk of your time each day. What's even more frustrating is that sometimes you find out that no one reads the documentation and people request a verbal explanation instead, which brings me to my next point. The third is you don't like working with people. There is no business analyst job where you can just sit quietly and model requirements. It is very common for a project to have a dozen stakeholders or even more, and the business analyst has to work with all of them. You get your needs from your clients and sponsors, you communicate requirements to your team members, and you explain features to end users. There are many people you need to work with for different purposes, and it doesn't change with remote at all. You still have to email, chat, and have video calls. So as you see, communication is a core skill you need to have. Most of the time, business analysts work in teams with managers, developers, and other business analysts just like you. What's more, you will be responsible for communicating the requirements you created, making sure that people actually understand them and that they will create the solution just as you intended. And that is what not happening quite often because of poor communication. So if you don't like to talk and explain or feel uncomfortable with working with people at all, that might be not a career for you. The fourth thing is you feel uncomfortable wearing many hats. In business analyst role, you need to have a lot of different knowledge to perform. You cannot just learn how to write requirements. You also need to know some of the basics of design, processes, software development, lots of solution knowledge, domain knowledge, and a bunch of other things. It is often for BA to perform quality assurance, some of the Scrum Master activities, or even write the code. On top of that, you don't have dedicated time to do those things usually. Business analysts need to adapt and switch between tasks depending on what's in priority right now. A lot of people have problems with remembering what they were doing if someone pulls them off from a current task, including me. I often feel challenged with getting back on track when I have to do many things screens at a time. I spent years learning how to work with it, so if you think this might be a massive problem for you or you are not ready to invest your energy into this, maybe you should consider another job. Finally, business analysis is all about change. The whole deal is to drive a business or project from point A to point B. As much as you may want to have a plan and stick to it, I have never seen this work. In reality, rules change all the time and you have to adapt quickly. Stakeholders change their needs, your team wants to work differently. Someone changes the law and you need to redo the whole bunch of features because of that. This is real life. This is what happens all the time. Not a single day passes without me hearing from some of my peers that another client changed everything again, and everybody's bummed with it. But that is how it works, and it is just a part of your job. Becoming a business analyst means you won't have stability in what you do most of the time. You really need to embrace the fact that today you may be building one thing, and tomorrow it should become something completely different. If you are not ready to live in a state of constant change, business analysis is not for you. And a bonus for you, there is another thing. Thinking that you will become rich quickly after becoming a business analyst. People look at their later stages of their careers and see how much money they will be making. And it feels like that is what you will get when you become a business analyst instantly. But in fact, it might take 5 or 10 years to start earning 6 figures. In the beginning, you won't be making much money and you won't become rich right away in most cases. You shouldn't be expecting to make 100,000 or more anytime soon. And at the very beginning of your career, depending of course on the region you live in, you should expect to earn under 50k or even less. Anyway, this is my take on what are the most common challenges for those who want to become a business analyst. If you think there are more challenges, be sure to share your thoughts in comments. I hope that this video helped you to understand if you fit the business analyst role before you invest your time and money. Getting into the new role is a considerable investment, so I hope that this video will be helpful to you in the long run. Thank you for watching, I really appreciate it, and if you like content I create and if you want to support this channel, find the link to buy me a coffee in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to catch future content on this channel, and I will see you in the next video.